Hello, friends. My name is Claire, and I'm going to be doing a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom beach house built in the world of Sulani in The Sims 4. So, this is a modern beach house, and I tried to emulate some modern with the black and white color scheme on the exterior of the house. And the 3 packs I can remember off the top of my head I used are the Seasons pack, the Island Living pack, and the Get Together pack. I might be forgetting a pack, but I did try to keep this build pretty pack minimal. And so we are just on the little porch area, and I'm going to have a little lounge area, and you can see we're working on a little chest table area, and it's going to be adding a rug by the door. Try to keep it very simple. I do feel like modern is very simple and like clean lines, and so I try to keep that with this build. And so now we're inside working on the entry, kind of like a drop zone. I do usually add like a coat rack in this area, but since we're on the beach, there's not really a need for a coat rack, and so I just kind of add this dresser that I'm using or imagining would be kind of more like shoe storage, just kind of like closed off. And so we are just going to be in the living room right now. I tried to keep this floor plan very simple and open, and so I do have a wall like kind of separating the kitchen and the living room, and that's because I wanted to have a lot of windows in this house. Since you're on the beach, you're on the ocean, you have a lot of great ocean views on this lot that I built it on, and so I needed to have like an anchor point for the stove and just like some counter, shelving, upper storage, lower storage. And so we are just still in the living room, just kind of finishing up this space. We are just going to be kind of using some mismatched couches and packs. So the couches are from Island Living, and then the chair and rug are from the Seasons pack. But I do switch out one of the couches to be a smaller couch, also from the Seasons pack. And so now we are in the kitchen and just going to be starting with the lower cabinets. I wasn't like fully wanting to put cabinets in front of the windows since they are floor to ceiling windows, but I do end up going around the corner on the left side of the house or on the front side of the house, and so we are just going to me adding an island, but I feel like it made it a little too closed off, and so we do get rid of the island and going to be changing the colors just to bring some more lightness. Whenever I think of modern, I think of kind of like lighter woods and stuff, so we are just going to be adding some open shelving and try to just keep this part very minimal because there are just not that much shelving, and the island living pack did come with lowers, but it did not come with upper cabinets, so I had to kind of improvise with the space game area by the stove. So we are just going to be adding a quick trash can because that's something I would normally forget or doesn't do normally forget. So we are just going to be adding a little dining room table. On the inside, there is indoor and outdoor dining in this house because there's a large deck off the back of the house. So we are just going to be wrapping around these counters and going to be changing the color of the table. This table and chairs are from the Get Together pack, and I was going to use one from the Island Living pack. It just looked a little too rustic for what I was going for, so we are just going to be adding some pictures or some like sculpture hanging art from the Island Living pack and going to be decorating the kitchen. I wanted to keep this area pretty simple, just kind of have the things out that you would need on a day-to-day basis, like paper towels or maybe a recipe book, maybe this kitchen has a chef always in it, and so they are making recipes. And I didn't have a specific like career path for the parents of this house, and so we are just going to be in the powder bathroom off of the front door. And wanted to keep this area pretty simple. I was imagining this would kind of be like for the guests to use, and so I didn't want to like overly decorate it. And I know like powder rooms are like the thing right now to like go crazy, go kind of more bold in, but I wanted to keep this area pretty simple. And now we are in the ensuite, or not the ensuite, the primary bedroom, and so we are just going to be adding a lot of items from the island living pack in this room. Each room does have a walk-in closet from the get together pack, and so we're just going to be finding a mirror to put by the closet. I do use this one from the deluxe kit, or not deluxe kit, but like it's like luxury luxe kit or something. It has a lot of like kind of more high-end items, and I just wanted to have like a small simple mirror, and that kit does have a small simple mirror, so that's why I did end up using it. So we are just going to be adding some side tables and going to be adding a rug and just keeping this area pretty simple. I didn't really design the rooms for a specific like theme, or I guess I kind of did design the rooms for a specific theme. They're just not like sports or music. It's more based off color, especially with the 3 bedrooms on the second level. So we are just going to be adding in a shower and bath combo in the ensuite area, and going to be adding a sink, just a very small, simple sink area. And so we're just going to be now adding the sink. I wanted to kind of tie in with the kitchen, and so I am going to be using the same countertops as the kitchen, and I really do like how this little bathroom turned out. It's not my usual 2 by 3 room, but it does give more elegance to not elegance, more space in this area. And since this is a ensuite and I had the room, I feel like it made sense to have a little fancier, little bigger bathroom. So we are just going now back into the off our main living area. This home doesn't have an office, but I do have a little like landing space up on the second level, and that's where like the family computer would go. I was imagining that this home would have like older Sims, like a young adult, possibly married, and then a teenager and child. So this is kind of more like an older family that I was mentioning would live here. And so we are just going to be adding some plants and just kind of looking around, making sure I haven't forgotten anything. And so we are just going to be changing the colors of some of the rug and the chair, and going to be going outside. And so this area was a little bit tricky in a way, because like there's like 3 different areas or 4 different areas that I needed to design for. I knew I wanted there to be a lounge space somewhere, but I wasn't exactly sure if it would be up here or be on the lower deck. And so we are just going to be adding some different like nautical items out here. I feel like having a life preserver made sense to have on this deck, with the ocean being the backyard. And so we are just going to be adding a little like plant waterfall feature over here, and just wanted to add something kind of different and not have both sides of this deck be so matchy, and I feel like I needed to have some privacy since that window is the primary bedroom or goes into the primary suite, and so we are just going to be adding some waterfall fountains and going to be sizing down these plants. I wanted the plants to be the same, but obviously have some variety. So now we are on the lower deck, and this is where I just do end up putting a little lounge spot for the Sims is closer to the water, and there is also a ladder for the Sims to easily get up and down. So we are just going to be adding a little side table by the lounge chairs, but this all does get moved down to the lower deck. I just wasn't thinking what will be on the lower deck at this point. I was thinking I should put the outdoor dining room table, but I do end up putting it right where I had it originally, and so we're just going to be moving the lounge chairs down here on the lower deck, and I feel like this makes more sense in a way. So where the lounge chairs were originally, I do make a little art area, and I feel like being right on the ocean, you would have a lot of good views to paint, especially if your Sims can take paint pictures right off of your surroundings. I don't remember the actual correct term, but your Sims can take paintings of their surroundings, and I did like that idea. So we are going to be adding another easel on the second deck in the front of the house, and so we are just kind of adding very artsy stuff up here, and now we are in the landing space, kind of like another lounge area slash another office area. This is where I do end up putting the family computer area, and I wanted to use this table from the Seasons pack because it looks kind of like driftwood with that little detail on the back, and so I felt it looked kind of natural. So we are just going to be adding a bookshelf up here on this level and going to be adding another picture, but this is actually a TV, and I do move it into the first bedroom I will be showing you, which is also the biggest bedroom, and so we are just going to be moving a few things around on the first level. Like I mentioned earlier, I do switch out this that chair with a smaller chair. I thought it would be easier for your Sims to get around. And now we are in the first bedroom, and this bedroom's color theme is kind of like pinks and mint greens. I tried to keep the colors coastal since we're right off the beach and right on the ocean. So we are just going to be adding a desk over here in the corner by the walk-in closet, and I do end up switching this desk out for another desk that could be like a makeup vanity, but it isn't a makeup vanity. Anyway, we are just going to be adding some decorations and going to be adding some pictures, and I do add 2 pictures. It took me forever to figure out which pictures and to find a matching color frame, so we are just going to be adding some plants and going to be adding some decorations on the side tables. The side tables are kind of low, but I feel like the bed's pretty low, so I don't know. It bothers me when the bed is lower than the side tables, and I feel like it just looks a little weird. So we are just going to be adding some curtains and going to be adding this vanity looking desk into the room, and it doesn't really block the pictures, which I think is a good thing. And now we are just going to be adding a record player. Even though this room's more based off of a color, I did add a few musical instruments into the space, like a guitar. And actually, I guess that's the only musical instrument I added into this space. So we are just going to be adding some decorations, and I wanted to have a real big color pop, so like every other wall does have a color or it's a white wall. So we are on the private balcony now for this bedroom, and this is why it's the biggest bedroom. This is why I was imagining this could be for a young adult, possibly married, and so we do keep this deck pretty simple. I do have a telescope. I thought that would be kind of fun to have for maybe the in-law, possibly like into stars, and so we are just going to be adding a shower tub combo into this second floor bathroom, and again, try to keep this area pretty simple for the bathroom, and just trying to do my normal little thing in here. Try not to do anything too out there. I really is trying to keep this whole house pretty simple, because I know that sometimes you may not want to tell the same story that I'm telling through my house. So we are now in the second bedroom. This is on the right side of the house if you're looking from it from the front of the house on the gallery. And so I was imagining that this space would be for a kid, and the color theme in this room is blue and yellow. So we are just going to be adding some posters, and I feel like adding posters is like good, but it was kind of hard because like I didn't want to make it too specific for one sim. I did kind of give this room an interest in books and a science table, so maybe this seems a little bit of a smarty pants, and so we are just going to be adding some other kid items into this room, going to be adding some more posters and going to be adding some curtains, and I feel like the curtains really tie in the yellow and blue color scheme I was going for in this room. So we are just going to be just moving a few things around. I did keep mostly everything in here. We do also add a rug, and I thought that's really cute to have a little cloud rug. And now we are going to be adding some decorations on the side table, and I tried to keep this pretty simple, very kind of like model house, magazine house, and now we are in the fourth and final bedroom. And this bedroom has more of the color scheme of orange and cream, and so we don't really have much other interest going on in this room. You know, the other two bedrooms have like music in them or have the science table in them. This room is very more like a guest bedroom where there's not much interest besides the colors, and I did feel like doing like rooms based off colors has kind of helped me in a way, because it's kind of hard to like always be doing rooms based off of an interest. So we are just going to be adding some items onto the side table, and try again keeping this area very simple. I do add a desk into this room. It's the same desk as the office desk, but I wanted it to be cohesive with one another, and there might have been like a sale, buy one get one free. So we are just going to be adding some curtains, and I do change them to be an orange color, and we are getting close to the end of the video, so I hope you enjoyed watching. If you did, please make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. You have no idea how much that would help me grow this channel. Post new videos every single Tuesday, so I hope to see you all next week for another Sims 4 video. Bye!